Hey guys, Dan with Sterling Self Defense. We're talking bolts today, the BKS bolt. Alright, what we're going to be doing now is the brand new one, taking out the firing pin, removing the stock alloy steel grub set screw they have in there, and we're going to replace it with a stainless steel one and Loctite it. So let's get started. Take your bolt off the air chamber, turn your air chamber over, grab your screwdriver. Now, sometimes you'll be able to just take it out with your screwdriver. Sometimes it's going to be too tight. You're going to have to put it in the vise, then try the screwdriver. And if that don't work, that means it's really in there, and they may put a lot of Loctite on it at the factory. So you got to heat it up. The only way to break Loctite, especially red Loctite, 271, this is what you're going to need. Red Loctite, 271. You can get it at Lowe's, Home Depot. Lowe's has it right in the paint department to buy the epoxies and stuff like that hanging on a rack. And now they don't have bigger ones. Been looking for a big one, you can't find them. They're like $7.99 for one of these little things, but they're well worth it. All right. Well, I got lucky on this one. This one's going to be loose, so we don't have to get crazy. But a lot of them, they're not going to be loose, and they're going to be a pain in the ass. So what you're going to do, if you don't have a vise, get yourself a pair of vise grips and get some kind of rubber, whatever, cut rubber off something, fly swatter or something like that. Or take some electrical tape, tape it around this a bunch of times, and then hold your vise grips down to it so you have something to lock it on. Alright, but best bet is get a little vise like this one. I got these all over the shop at every workstation. It's got either a big vise or a little vise. Super handy. Alright, there's your firing pin. And there's the screw. So I'm going to lock in here. I got my little rubber on there. This one's, usually one side is real tight, one side or the other. So you're going to need something to clamp it down in one side or the other. Alright, take your handy dandy Pepperball tool, if you have one. If not, your Allen key set. This one's got the one on it, got all the ones on it that you need for the guns, so that's why I use this one. Alright. Oh, and this one's nice and loose. No problem. Well, it's a good thing I'm fixing this. This one probably would have got loose pretty easy. It doesn't look like they put any Loctite on it. I don't know what they're doing in the factory these days. Jeez. Some are crazy, you can't get them out, and some are like nothing. Yeah. I don't know if it's different guys, new guys, but someone in the factory's got to look at what they're doing. Look at that. Not a drop of Loctite on there. Not a drop. Whew. Well, Pepperball's going to have to watch this video, because that should not be. Funniest point about this brand new BKS, I got this came out no problem, which should be the hardest thing in the whole gun to get out. Here's my barrel. Look at this. Can't get it off. You know why? Because it's got 10 tons of freaking Loctite on it. Your brake, this should be the easiest thing on your entire gun to take off, because this is the thing that gets changed. And this is the thing that doesn't hurt anything if it gets loose. Nope, can I get it off? No. I just did one before. I had to put it in the vise and end up destroying the brake. It was on there so much. I had to hit it with a torch to get it off. That's ludicrous. But same gun. The brake is Loctited. I can't get it off. But get the firing pin screw, no problem. I don't know. Common sense. Hard to come by these days, guys. Yeah, I'm going to be forwarding this video over to Pepperball. That's crazy. Not a drop on this. Not a drop. So this would have failed. I mean, a couple shots would start loosening up. Would have been a problem. Not happy about that. Not happy at all. Alright, now grab our new one. I should have a napkin here, but I don't. I'll use my dirty shirt. No, I'm kidding. Let me get a paper towel, something here. Loctite gets on everything. No idea where my paper towels are. All right, I'll clean up afterwards. Not gonna waste your time looking for paper towels. Okay, stainless steel grub screw. All right, get some Loctite on there. I want to get some on there and work it around. Try not to drip it all over, but just get it in, working in the threads with your finger. Don't be afraid to get dirty, it washes off. Okay, now thread it in. It doesn't have to be in the vise for this. Well, might as well keep it in and tighten it up, and I'll get back to it. There's my handy dandy pepperball tool. There it is. There she blows. Alright. Now you don't stick it all the way in at this point. You just want to get it down a little bit, and then when you put in the bolt, you can put the bolt in the vise and tighten it down. All right. Now, take your 3/16 Allen key, stick in your back cap of your air chamber. You'll need a wrench, which I have to grab. Sorry, I'm not very well prepared today. They also make tools with, a little rubber on them. Helps them, scratch up your parts. Adjustable wrench is the best thing for this. I just, once again, don't know where mine is. Everything's under construction today. Just put the new lathe in and moving stuff around. So everything's all over the place. Gotta use the adjustable on this. There's two little grooves here on the top of the air chamber. That's what you want to hold on with your wrench. Don't need one this big, but now in the air chamber, it shouldn't be on that tight because it's got an O-ring in there. So it's not the threads that holds it from leaking, it's the O-ring. So you don't want to put it too tight or you can crush the O-ring. Now, you're going to use your air chamber as a jig. Some guys sell a jig, but this is basically a jig. No sense buying a jig. So put your air chamber and bolt together, just like so. And you can you can put it on the end of the screwdriver and put it up nice and straight, or you can just drop it in there. Really, you can just drop it in there. It falls right to where it's got to go because, the air chamber is like a jig on where it's got to go. And there you go. Look at that. Nice and straight. Nice and easy. All right, so just testing the threads, make sure they're okay. Now I can Loctite it. Now, I recommend getting a little practice on doing that before you put the Loctite on. You want to get good at it so when you finally do drop it down and it's got Loctite on it, you're not getting Loctite all over the inside. And on the new bolt, don't change your O-ring until after you do this, because you probably get a little Loctite on the O-ring. See, I got the stock one still in there. This way I'm not getting it all over. All right. Now, and if you do get a little in there, just take one of those little ear swabs, stick it in there, and wipe it off. All right, Loctite the other screw, the side of the screw. You get it in the threads. Here's my dirty shirt. I don't mind my shirt's always dirty. This is why. Good way to ruin your shirt, too. It shouldn't be. But there you go. Clean the excess off with your finger. Wipe it on a paper towel. Get nice and clean. Now I showed you the drop-in. Now you can also do it this way. You know, it's got a real thick slot in it, so use the fattest screwdriver you can. Turn this whole thing upside down and just push it up in there and screw it in. See, you see how easy it was? I didn't have to try. Now, if you're repairing a broken one that already broke and you're placing it, watch how it goes in. If it's real hard, that means you might have burnt up the threads. Look at the threads and make sure none's bent on either the firing pin threads or the bolt itself. Look for breaks in the top of the bolt. You can see down in there. Make sure you don't have red Loctite all over the place. So you don't need too much. A little dab will do you. Just get it in the threads in there. That's it. Pull everything apart. Look for excess Loctite. Little red anywhere. I usually have those little ear swabs with me. I don't have them right now. But usually I'll be doing that. But this is pretty clean. There's none on there. Nice thing about being red, you can see it. And it looks clean. So, check it. Make sure it lines up straight. It's sliding nice. It's not catching anywhere. If it's bent, you'll feel it. It's hard to see, visualize when it's straight, but if it's bent good enough, you'll see it. But the best way to go is slide your bolt in and out after it's replaced and see if you feel any kind of grab. And this one's just going nice. It's brand new, so obviously it wasn't a break before, so it's going to be straight. So that's done. Take your cap, your 3/16 Allen key, that little sucker back in. You know, like I said, it's an O-ring. Doesn't have to be crazy tight. It's just the O-ring. It's not the threads. So, overnight, separate them apart, and let it dry overnight, and put it back in the gun the next day. And that's it for replacing your regular screw in your BKS bolt with a stainless steel one. I'll have a couple on the site. I'm still waiting on a bunch to come in. I ordered a bunch of different from a bunch of different companies to see who came first. And of course, the one that came first was only had like 5 of them. You know, the ones with 25, I'm still waiting for those. So, but all you do is go on Amazon, half-inch. It's a half-inch, number 6, 32 pitch. So 6/32 by half-inch screw. It's called a set screw. Hey guys, yeah, I checked the mail and it came, so there you go. You can read that. Packages they came in, that's what they look like. And let me just show you next to the, let's see if I have the stock one. I don't know what I did with it. But anyway, it's the same size as the stock one. Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on. Hold on, let me pull one of these out. Okay, so there's the stock one right next to it that I just took out. You guys can see that. Same exact size, but it's stainless steel. Now, there's some other guys that were selling the wrong size one. Just, out of ignorance, they didn't know. So they were selling people a longer one. And then when I called them out on selling them, that's too wrong. I told them, hey, you're selling the wrong size. That's too long. I told them the right size. And they're like, no, we're getting that because we get better longevity out of a longer screw. That's total bullshit, and it's retarded. These idiots just trying to think on the fly when they get caught making a mistake, saying that, no, longer screw is better for longevity. So basically, once again, knows more than all the engineers at Pepperball, Tiberius, First Strike. Decades of engineering went into these bolts, but he knows better. But anyway, don't put a longer bolt in. Don't listen to anybody saying it's better. Just think about, it's stupid. A longer bolt would hurt you in a million different ways. You want your firing pin to be right up to the top like it's supposed to be, not pushed down in your air chamber, taking away from the volume in your air chamber, and then going too low past the O-ring. It's just so obviously stupid to say something like that. But that came from a guy who has no idea what he's doing, and he was backpedaling in comments, and that's all he could think of is, oh, I'm getting a longer one because I did testing and said it gave it more longevity. Longevity, which is apparently seconds with this guy, not years. But anyway, don't make the mistake. Don't put in a longer pin. It'll screw you up. And it'll actually make it break way easier. Because the way these are now, there's no screw. These go right into the bolt, into the firing pin. There's the slightest little bit in between. You put a longer one in, you'll have a big gap in between, so another breaking point. But there's a million reasons not to do that. Don't do that because it's retarded and stupid. But whatever. All right, so that's it. So you can get them on Amazon. They take a while to get here, but number 6, 32 half-inch socket set screw. Cup. So that is it. Once again, get them on Amazon. I'll throw a couple up on the site if you need them. But that's it, guys. Stay safe.